Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Walking in Her Shoes with KizziDoll and LizzyDoll. Tonight we have an amazing special appearance by Mr. Cecil Elder, Mr. Energizer himself. We are going to take a few minutes just to say hello to you all. We're not going to be before you long today. We have a couple of topics that we want to talk about, and then we're just going to give it to you quick and straight, no chaser, and we're going to keep it moving. How about that?
All right, all right.
How are you guys doing, Kizzy Doll? How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. Had a great day today. Feel really, really good. Glad to be here. Glad to see you, and really glad to see you, Mr. Elder. How are you?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. Glad to see you all. And once again, thanks for having me on here. You know, I feel privileged.
we are we're privileged to have you here. You and I have been talking a little bit about finding your moment of clarity, and it really ties into today's topic. We're talking about the grass not always being greener on the other side. And the way that we're tying these two topics in together is that, you know, energy is so key and is so important. You attract what you put out there. So if we're looking at somebody else's yard and we're trying to say that the grass is greener on the other side, we have no idea what that person put into it to get that beautiful green lawn. And so we're going to start off with you, Cecil, about energy because you have such a great take on it. And then we're just going to go into the grass not being greener on the other side.
Okay, well, one thing I want to say, and talking about, finding your moment of clarity, I done got so much great information in this book. And then, what I'm doing, I'm utilizing what I'm reading into this book. And also, it's been me forever to have the energy that I have, because that flows, energy goes, as energy flows, it goes into someone else. And I've always been that type of person for a lot of years, because you can't go nowhere out here in life dead, and what I mean by that, you got to have some kind of sense of urgency and want to create a movement inside your life, so what it is, and positive thoughts always, and I know sometimes it get hard because there's so much going on out here in this world, but we do our best and stay, and it's all through God's doing, continue to pray on it and stay on it, and think positive thoughts. Now, what I have read in this book, at one time, I do positive, you have so much going on. I was doing, think about where I want to be. Think about the big home I'm going to be in. Think about the other cars I'm going to be driving. But I would normally, it's a thought that it'd be in your mind for a minute. Then if you don't, anywhere after 15 to 20 seconds, it'd be gone. But what I have learned in this book of finding your moment of clarity, it gets to a point and say, create, imagine something in positive. And have that thought for at least 68 to 70 seconds in your mind. Then what you're going to do, you're going to create it in an atmosphere and manifestation. I'm really true on that because I've been doing that a long time. I have daily affirmations that I use every single day when I wake up, and I don't stop. I know I got this van that I wanted some years ago, and I hadn't seen it. It was double doors. And after I seen that van, I kept saying, I will have one of these. And I told everybody I will have one of these. And I was given a year. I was saying, I think of 2010 to 2015, I said, will be paid for in cash. And I totally described how I wanted this van to be. High top conversion, leather seats, wood grain interior, flat screen TVs, and I kept on speaking this every day. Now, one thing when you're doing this, it don't happen overnight. You got to understand, you got to have that thought, but and that positive mindset thought, and continue to do it every day. Sometimes people thinking they're gonna do it and it's gonna happen just tomorrow or the next day. It takes time. And I'm gonna tell you, I've manifested this van, my exact van, and it took me like 5 years. It probably was about 6 years to be exact, because I got another van, and it wasn't that van, but it was somewhere to what I wanted. Until I seen it that day, I was like, oh my God, that's the exact van. I seen that van. I told my brother, I said, oh my God, this is the van. This is it. I got inside and everything. They wanted like $16,000 for it. I didn't have no $16,000 cash. But I'm going to tell you, I kept manifesting, kept thinking it. I kept going up there every day, saying, I will have this van. And I even told the owner, I hope I ain't falling off track, but this is real talk. I told the owner of this van, I said, look inside. And he looked, I said, you see, Cecil, that's my name. This is my van. And he said, wow, you really determined about that. So then, God, I started praying on it, and things started happening. And I was doing the business, I was doing some more things, and things started happening, and I ended up getting this money. But I went to him like, man, can you go down to 13,000? He's like, man, you'll never get a man like this for that. But he went down to 14,000, and I had it, and I got that van cash. And I told him, and he said, you was determined. I was going up there every day for months. Like, this is my van. Nobody ain't got my van. So I say this to say that if you manifest what you want, it can happen. What you want it to be positive things. Don't do your best to not have no bad thoughts about yourself into this. Because you ever been around somebody, it seems like it's always something bad, and because and people a lot of times be saying, oh, I'm broke. I said, no, don't keep saying those words, because if you keep saying it, that's what you're gonna be, broke. You ain't gonna have no money. And the people who have said that, I noticed to this day, and it's been years ago, they still don't have money. They still be like, I'm broke. I said, man, you can't keep saying these things. You got to be, the power of the tongue is so powerful. So you got to watch what you're saying. This book that I'm reading, it speak about the vortex, the mind thinking. It talk about your reason why. Where you want to be in life, goals. What you want to do inside of life for the rest of your life. You know, so I know I probably, Dr. Liz, I hope I didn't veer off a little bit, but it's just real talk. Even my Cadillac truck right now, I spoke that thing into existence. My house, I spoke it, and my other one is going to come, but I do this daily. It don't happen overnight, folks. Sometimes it takes some time. It takes time. Anything you do, even building your own business, you stick to that thing and do not stop. Do not veer off. And it will happen. You can have the largest whatever you want in the world. You know, just real quick, can I read a little bit of this, or I'm going too far?
Just a few. You have a few more minutes. Go ahead. Okay.
Well, I just want to talk about this part when he was talking about because I'll just say this part. I won't go all off because I'm in my 7th chapter, almost my 8th chapter. But because of your ability to use your brain and think things into existence, beginning with an idea from thought, having singleness of purpose, taking the right action, and never quitting until accomplishment. The world has benefited from the constant change because of men and women all around the globe using creative ideas from thought, new innovative and exciting inventions, products and services that always sprung up to one generation to the next generation. Reason why that happened, because these things that they did, they didn't quit. They didn't stop. He talked about when Thomas Edison, when the first light bulb was invented in 1879, Henry Ford Company in 1901. You know, he even go all the way down here to Mark Zuckerberg in 2004 with Facebook. You know, it was all a thought, but they didn't stop. And it's all about the mind, the mindset. So with that being said, I ain't gonna go all off because I'm a reader. I love reading, and there's so much information to provide for the world. You know, but with that, thank you so much, Dr. Liz. Turning it back over to you.
Thank you so much. Now you all have experienced why we call him the Energizer. But this is the thing, though. You know what? That's the perfect segment to start this year out with, because energy goes where energy flows. I've been saying it, and I live by it. Energy flows where energy goes. Energy goes where energy flows. And it is so true. It's like plug it in. And I got this from you, Cecil. You know, great minds think alike. I thought about this when you said that when you get around positive, like-minded people, and think about this, truly like-minded people, positive people going in your same direction, you can't help but win. And so you talked about plugging the light socket and plugging the plug into the light socket and into the electrical socket, and that the radio will continue to play. But once you pull that plug out from the wall, then the energy starts to go down. It might play for a little bit, but then it starts to dwindle and go down. And then if you don't plug back into that energy source again, then your light goes out. And that is so true. And that's true about the people that you have in your circle. So the same thing I want to add to that about the positive people and about manifesting things into your life. See, so for I want to say the majority of my life, I've been around people that I was the one that had the positive energy. I was the one motivating. I was the one, pushing and pulling people and to pulling out the best in them or seeing their I'm going to say seeing what their gift is. But I stopped, believe it was the year before last, and I said a prayer. I said, Lord, I need to be around positive people. I want positive people in my life because I was exhausted. I was tired. I was drained because when you continue to pour into people and you don't have anybody pouring back into you, it will drain you. And that's what you said about that energy, and people don't understand how important that energy is. So I asked for that, and then I fell into Fortress. I'm going to say, let me rephrase that. I fell into the arms of Fortress because like-minded people going in the same direction. And I know every time I start talking, I talk about Fortress because when you land on something, it's like standing on top of the hill and falling backwards and knowing that you're going to get caught. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that there are people there to catch you. And that's what we've built. We've built an amazing community for people to stand on each other's shoulders and succeed. And so, it takes people with your amazing energy. It takes people with the laid back energy. It takes all, but you all have to be like-minded. And Miss Tina Marie, Miss KizziDoll, we want to pour you into this conversation because we want to tie it back into the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Well, thank you. When we were talking about the grass not always being greener on the other side, I was thinking about people that are looking at the lawn just from one angle. Like you said earlier, they don't know what that person put into that lawn to make it so beautiful. So the lawn is the household. Okay, so earlier we were talking about how you stage a house. You stage the outside it's called curb appeal, to make it more appealing. First of all, you don't know what they did to make it appealing. Check this out. You don't even know if the grass is really grass, or is it turf? How about carpet? How about plastic? We don't know, but we tend to be envious of what we see on the outside, and we're judging it just right there at that point right there. We're not going any further, but then we're really shocked to find out the backstory. So check out the backstory. Could be the backyard is full of hay, burn marks, no grass, only dirt. We don't know. But what we need to do, and what I'm learning to do even now, LizzyDoll, is appreciate who I am right here and right now, and know that to trust the Father who created me, that He is going to make me who He wants me to be. I don't have to envy anybody else. I don't have to want what they have. What's for me is for me. And His word speaks very specifically about that He has plans for our lives. He knows when to bless us. He has all different types of things just for us, just for us. So that grass being green, and I've done it. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I'm guilty of it. I have looked at somebody else's yard and went, okay, I want that over there, but it looks that way on purpose, and that could be a trap. That could be a trap to get you to get off focus, and you're focused on somebody else's something, and it may not be worth anything, or it might be worth a whole lot. But another thing that we have to do, seem like to me, we just need to trust God and bringing us to our green pasture.
That's so good. That's so good. And there's this movie, and I don't know the name of it, but it's starring Betty Davis. And I always go back to this story because it is such it ties into exactly what we're talking about right now. And I'm gonna give a real brief summary of what the movie is about, but it's a great movie, and I love old black and white movies. Betty Davis she's playing a dual role, and she's playing twin sisters. And the gist of the movie is she was the one sister was kind of boring, kind of just kind of quiet and shy. The other sister was outgoing and grandiose kind of person or whatever. But in the story, the drier sister, or the one with not such a big light, the dimmer light, she met a gentleman, and when she brought him back to the house, he ended up thinking that her twin sister was her. And so he ended up with the twin sister, and he ended up marrying her. And so the other sister never said anything. She was shy and quiet. She never said anything. But she and her sister knew what happened. But her sister just basically kind of disannulled her and just kind of just took the boyfriend or whatever. But in that the two sisters came together and went on a boat trip, and the storm tossed the boat around and everything, and the one sister fell over. The flamboyant sister fell over, but in the attempt to grab her sister up, the only thing that she could grab was her wedding ring. So it slid off her hand, and then the winds gushed her, and she fell back. And when she ended up in the hospital, she had the ring in her hand, so they assumed that she was the wife. And so when she went on to go through, she went after the hospital stay and stuff. She went back home with her husband, and now she's got the dream life, air quotes, right? She get into that life, and I'm telling you, all havoc was going on. It was not grass being greener on the other side. When I said all helicopters was going off, they was unhappy in their marriage. They was getting ready to go through a divorce. One of them was cheating on the other one, and he couldn't stand her. And so the only person that knew about it was the father. And to speed it all up, when you think about that story, she thought the grass was greener on the other side, but it was horrible conditions over there. So you can't really look at what somebody else's stuff looks like and think. And then too, you never know what that person went through to get there. So you can't compare. And that's why I say all the time, you have to walk in your purpose and walk in what God has called you to do and be the best version of yourself. And one other thing I wanted to say too, I was listening to Iyanla Vanzant. She's no longer going to do her series any longer.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad.
But something that she said though, she said that it's no longer about healing. It's about what's wrong, and it's not healing what is wrong. It's evolving into greater and better, because at some point you're not always saying I'm healing and I'm trying to heal this thing or whatever. It's at some point you're evolving and you're getting better and you're getting greater. And I thought that was just phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. As much as we admire, respect, and adore Iyanla, she's actually right. I saw that interview, and she has every right to grow and evolve and move on to something different, and to get out of a negative environment for herself. If people are coming at her crazy and all this different type of thing that she named, she has a right to do that. It's just that those of us that appreciate her wisdom and her knowledge and her help, that's going to be missed. But actually, she does have a right to grow, and we, of course, we wish her the best. The movie you're talking about is 1946, A Stolen Life.
Yes, that's it. That is it. That is it.
Betty Davis.
Yes, A Stolen Life with Betty Davis. I love that movie. A Stolen Life.
A Stolen Life.
Thank you.
Life. Yeah.
Thank you.
Many times do people try to duplicate what we do because they're looking from the outside at our lives? They have not a clue what's going on behind closed doors, or that
Amen.
you spend a lot of time on your face before the Lord about yourself.
Yes.
God, help me. I mean, we
Yes.
have people that we go to, that we trust, that we can confide in. Because if you don't have a person in your life that you can go to and unzip so they
Yes.
can give you loving, constructive criticism with love, they can pray you through a thing.
Yes.
That's what we need. We know that we have the Father, but we need to hear it from people too. Encouragement, and you know what, and a little nudge. You know, you can do better. You may not
Yeah.
want to do that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that we
And
can get green grass.
absolutely. And then when you go back to just a little, just what tying everything into it, and we have like about a minute left, but tying everything back up to this short, sweet segment. Um, in that Iyanla having choices, and so her choice is to not be involved in negative energy, and I think that is so admirable of her, because
Yes,
some people would
yes,
think about the money, but that's how you can see the sincerity of her heart in the work that she does, is because she says at this point she wants positive energy in her life, and that's exactly what I pray for. And again, I know I say fortress, 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 because it's not about it's not all about the money. It is about the community. And I do see my growth. I see my team members' growth. I see my family's growth. Anybody that's in that network, in the Fortress network, that actually leans into the network and actually sees the value, they grow. And you can't put a price tag on personal and professional development.
right. That's true. That's true too. That's
So
true.
we're at that time that we have to close, and we're going to keep bringing you some good old stuff.
Yeah.
We just enjoy coming before you, encouraging you, inspiring you, motivating you, and KizziDoll, you want to take us out?
Absolutely. Listen, guys, we're here for each other and we're here for you. If there's anything that we can say to encourage you, uplift you, to give you an air hug and an air kiss, from our hearts to yours. Okay. So you stay tuned. We're going to come with more content. We're going to talk some real talk on a couple of different things. We got some stuff lined up for you guys. So listen, don't forget, you guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Okay. And in parting, always blessings, peace, love to you. Stay careful, be prayerful, bless y'all's heart and all your parts.
Bye for now. Thank you for
Amen.
joining, Cecil.
See y'all later.
Thank
No
Bye.
you,
problem.
Cecil.
Bye for
Bye.
now.